This is it, my darklings. You've waited 149 episodes to get here. Webster's Dictionary defines 150 as a number. And we are finally there on this program. Thank you so much for joining us. This is your Paranormal 60 special guests, Chachi, the Colonel, and Greg, the Paranormal Detective, and you, our lovely Darkling audience, are going to join us. As a matter of fact, if you were watching social media today, I put out a link so that you can actually join us backstage and join the program. Should you like to do that, we would love to hear from you right here on the Paranormal 60.
I'm not gonna stand here and listen to this baloney. You won't know. He doesn't stand for baloney.
Sounds like a lot of supernatural baloney to me. Supernatural, perhaps. Baloney, perhaps not.
Good evening, my darklings, and welcome back to your favorite paranormal hotspot. This is the Paranormal 60. I'm your host on this journey. And for our 150th episode, I know we're taking a stretch. We're going to actually have the news guys join me. Why? Because they're my buddies, and I want them here to celebrate this milestone. 150 updates. It feels like we just started a little over a year and a half ago. Yep, that'll be 150 episodes. I guess it's not so remarkable after all. Now let's just scrap it. All right, thanks a lot for tuning in. Everybody have a good night. No, let's bring on the boys, ladies and gentlemen. My right-hand man, Senor Chachi. What? Oh,
sorry, Dave.
Are you trying to get me in more trouble on Twitter?
I was just, oh my gosh, these quarter pounders from McDonald's, they're delicious.
The worst. You are the worst.
Oh my God.
For anybody not following the drama, listen, dude, this is one of the most ridiculous couple of days I've ever had. I can go on and support, the LGBTQ world. I can go on and support, Black Lives Matter. I can go on and support any part of the fascination of the paranormal that we talk about, and people are pretty accepting of all of this. I go on and happen to complain that I got a undercooked quarter pounder that's still pink in the middle. That's never happened to me. I'm 55 years old, Josh. Never once had a pink hamburger from McDonald's. I post about it, a little irritable, a little crabby. I didn't think I was starting a war. Then I post a picture of my wife's cheeseburgers, all messed up. And people are coming at me out of the woodwork because I happen to say you get paid $15 an hour. Customer service is worse than it's ever been. They're messing up 75% of the orders. And this is what I get. And you would think that I got on there and said, Hitler's not such a bad guy after all. I probably could have gotten away with that and not taken as much crap. Holy God, I can't believe the amount of abuse I took over the last 2 days.
Here's the good news
on social media. What's that?
Because of all of this, I don't know if you've seen, I just got back from McDonald's. They're now carrying Screwball.
Oh yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Is that how they're trying to get me back in? They're going to release there's the Grimace birthday bag for November. They're going to come out with the Dave birthday bag with Screwball and a McRib.
And look, at some of the employees already had some of it. $15 an hour, right. Dave, right? I mean,
that seems about right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together, your hand over your heart, whatever you feel best to do to honor this veteran, the one, the only, the martini sipping Colonel.
Dave, thank you for having us. I'm glad to be here this Wednesday, or Faux Wednesday, as we like to call it.
Yeah, this is for Monday. This is
for Monday. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're a little worried about the party goers that you seem to hang out with. They seem like a very lackadaisical group. Are they working part-time at McDonald's?
They are actually. Well, no, actually some are. I told them, be quiet. We're starting the show. And they're just kind of like, yeah. So yeah, they're having a good time. They were having a good time celebrating the 150th show of this very.
You know what? I got to give credit to the guy where credit is due, because for the 150th episode, Chachi's wearing a Paranormal 60 shirt. The Colonel's got a 150 shirt, right? And the next guy went above and beyond because he actually paid to have a billboard outside with our 150th anniversary episode banner.
Impressive.
Ladies and gentlemen, he might become my left-hand man. This is the paranormal detective, Greg Lawson. Hey, Greg.
Hey, old buddy.
How you doing?
It's nice out here.
Look at
It
that.
is beautiful.
Park,
Look at that.
baby.
Oh,
Park, bird.
lean over a little bit. Let everybody see the banner. Look at that. He paid to have that billboard put. Could you just stay like that tonight? Oh,
what really costs me is to keep everybody out of the park right now for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Well, and you are a detective.
Flying to California where it's still daylight too. That was a lot of money too.
The Kraken.
Or Minnesota, Marty. You've been here. It's still daylight here.
Yeah, really. Good gosh.
All right, listen. I've got the spooky green olive Bloody Mary mix. My Crystal Skull vodka.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go to begin this evening's night. We don't even have news stories to mess up, so this could go one of many different ways.
Dude,
start drinking.
I downloaded my stuff. I printed it up, and I've been practicing for like the last 2 hours.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Great. We'll
we'll get to you.
Yeah.
If we don't fit in the news tonight with you, we'll do it on
fourth hour.
Yeah.
Was that for Wednesday?
What? No, probably tonight. Later on, though, we got to get to it. Guys, I just came back from my event at the Palmer House. I had Jamie Houck, the psychic there. I had Bill Chappell, the paranormal engineer, the Tony Stark of the paranormal realm. Mm-hmm. And I had the lead singer of Skillet, John Cooper. You might know him more as Holzer Files, Shane Pittman. We were all there. We had a great time. I played a couple of EVP for Marty before the show. I'm going to try to get those loaded so I can play them on the air on Wednesday night's show. Marty, what did you think? That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Oh, man. It's crazy, man. It is crazy. Yeah. It's almost like, well, I'm not going to blow it, but you got to listen to the show.
A lot of activity, a lot of cool stuff went on. We'll talk about that on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to it, and I'll play some of the EVP we captured. And if any of you out there were a part of it and you caught any cool evidence, email me, Dave@paranormal60.com. That's Dave@paranormal60.com, and we will share it here on the air. Guys, I invited our Darklings, our fans from around the world, to join us on tonight's show to share their stories. Now, our green room is currently full. That's the backstage area. We've got full. So if you are trying to get in and you can't, just keep trying. But if you're watching live, when you see me say goodbye to somebody, wait a beat and then try to log back into it and try to join us on the program, because we would love to have you. And I think Winnie is watching on YouTube. She can put the link up on YouTube for our YouTube viewers to join us there. But let's get to the guy who's been waiting the longest to join us and celebrate this 150th episode. And a little bit later, we have a brand new Paratune.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How long has he been waiting?
Emails. Who? Our first guest, Richard? I told you, Richard checked in about noon yesterday, and he has been waiting patiently backstage. Yeah, and he is here to share with us. Richard, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. Thank you, gentlemen.
Great to have you.
Who's behind you
on this show?
I kind of got shocked when you said that. I'm like, is he on the right show?
It's an honor and a privilege. You know, I started watching your show about 2 months ago. I was having a really rough day at work, and I was watching Devil's Perch. Yes. And I heard something about the Paranormal 60 somewhere, and I was like, oh, let me check out this podcast while I'm at work and I have nothing to do. And I saw, I think, the last 2 Fridays that you guys were on Fridays, and then you were like, oh, we're going to change it to Monday. I was like, oh, no, I want to drink on Friday. I can't really drink on Monday, but
there you go.
Lagunitas on a Monday, and it's my birthday. So, Dave, I wanted really hard to be here, and I wanted to thank you, gentlemen. I wanted to share my story with you, but I want to let you know that you guys always lift my spirits on Wednesdays when the boss is being a jerk, and I've just had enough of the nonsense.
I didn't know you worked for Greg.
Yeah. Greg, you said you were going to stop doing that.
Halfway through the week.
Ease up the Richard. Exactly.
It's nice to wrap it on Friday, but it's also nice to hit it halfway through the week.
There you go.
While doing the show, I'm getting someone is trying to enter, but the studio is full. Please ask someone to leave if you'd like the new person to join. Greg, thanks a lot. We appreciate you being here. Let's get that. No, I'm just kidding. Greg is still here. Like I said, folks, keep watching and you can be a part of the show. So first of all, happy birthday, Richard, from the four of us to you. What story do you have to share with us tonight?
Well, my story is from a very young age. I'm a sensitive. I've never really physically seen anything. I've had manifestations come in dreams. And it's not all the time. It's just a kind of random. And sometimes I'll have this very vivid, weird dream. And maybe a month later, I'll tell one or two people, and a month later, that exact thing happens. So about 10 years ago, my better half and I, we were living in Chicago at the time, adopted a Rottweiler puppy from a shelter. And I have to tell you this just to get to the meat and potatoes. He was about a year old, and we were in a forest preserve, and he ran out onto a frozen lake in the middle of nowhere I think it was February. And he was about 15, 20 feet out there. So stupid me went out there on my stomach and thinking, I can crawl and grab his collar and pull him out. Well, I got about maybe 6, 7 feet from the shore, and I fell the whole way through. I had a heavy coat and heavy clothes, heavy boots, and I went in and I popped right back out, and I don't remember being scared, or I just remember taking a huge gasp of air when I came back up, and I tried to reach for Rufus. This is him.
Oh, hi, Rufus. What a handsome man.
But he's passed away 2 years ago Wednesday. But this is where I get to my story. So I tried to reach for him, and I couldn't.
Richard, I don't know what you've done, but suddenly it sounds like you're 2 tunnels away from us. Tap your earphone or something, or wherever your microphone is, and let's get you back.
Sorry about that.
Not much, but we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that, Dave. So he fell through. I tried. He was a couple feet away from me, and I kept trying to call him to come to me because there was frozen ice between us, and he just wouldn't come. And it got to a point where he literally turned around and he acted like he was trying to swim away from me and try to get up on the ice. So I didn't panic. I was just like, I remember thinking, wow, this is crazy. This is how I'm gonna die. And I remember trying to turn around and look at the shore because I honestly thought, well, if something happens to me, somebody's going to know that I was trying to get out, if somehow my dog got out. And I kind of just made my peace. And I actually said to God, God, if we both drowned here, then, please give me some kind of help or give me some kind of sign that somebody's going to find me, because that's what I was really afraid of, that we're going to freeze over. And then, so it wasn't 30 seconds later, I felt a really firm tug. And I'm not joking about it, a really firm tug on my shirt or on my jacket. And then I started feeling this pulling. I'm like, and I kept trying to turn to look at my right to see what that was. And obviously it was my dog grabbed a hold of me. But I can't explain how he got that far without me hearing ice crushing or breaking. And then at some point I heard him splashing. He was actually pulling me to the shore. And by that, my hands, my leg, from waist down, I was completely numb. But he was able to get me to the shore, and he got out and was shaking, and he was all excited. And I dragged myself up on the shore, and I took all my clothes off and vigorously rubbing my legs and arms, and we were able to get home. But long story short is we somehow had some kind of unspoken bond after that, Dave. So 2 years ago Wednesday, he was very sick for about a week, and I took him to the vet 3 different times because he wouldn't eat. He was vomiting, and the vet kept telling me, he has colonitis. We had just gotten another puppy for him for a companion, and the vet kept saying, it's colonitis, he's fine. So I'm like, no, I just had this weird feel, something else was wrong. So the 3rd time we took him, he was passing, in that week, he started passing blood. So we took him back to the vet. The vet said, "Oh, this is normal. It's just stress from his insides." So that evening, about 3 o'clock in the morning, he came into the bed, and he never like climbed up on me, but he started climbing up on me and woke my better half up, and he just collapsed on top of me and went into a seizure. So we rushed him to the emergency room for animals. And long story short, they did a scan. And they said, well, he actually has, I'm going to try not to choke up. He actually has several cysts on his spleen. One of them burst and it was bleeding into his stomach. So he needs surgery. And I said to the vet, well, if this is your dog, what would you do with him being 8 years old? And I knew he was getting older because he was getting slower. And he said, well, my dog's the same age. The dog had the same surgery and he's fine. Well, we were there at the hospital. I didn't want to leave. And we were there maybe 13, 14 hours before they said that he was stable. So again, this weird feeling came over me. And I told my better half, we were allowed to watch the surgery. And I told my better half, if you want to stay here and watch, I'm going to go in the car because I'm not feeling so well. I mean, it was an hour later. I got a phone call. You need to come in here really quick. And when I went to the surgery window, I actually saw the surgeon doing this. And I'm like, what is going on? And it's like, oh, they're sewing him up now. But did you see what the nurses are doing? They're actually giving him CPR. Like, what is going on? I thought he was fine. And no, he had a heart attack. But so after that, it was about a half of an hour before they asked me to go into the room. They said, well, we've given him everything we can. His heart is stable, but we can't wake him up. And they said, you need to go in there and start talking to him. So I talked to him probably for 10, 15 minutes, and there was no reaction. Then I saw the heart monitor going crazy. And there was two nurses in there with me. I said, hey, what's happening? They're like, oh, you're shaking him, and you're really, so you're exciting him. And he woke up shortly after that. And I thought, okay, we're out of the woods, because he literally got up and tried to get up off the table. And the two nurses grabbed him and laid him back down. I'm like, no, you need to lay down. And it was maybe, he didn't wake up again after that. And I was told that that's probably his way of saying that it was time. So we came home that evening, and this was maybe like 11 midnight. So we'd been gone almost 24 hours, and we got to the garage, and I told my better half, I can't go in the house because I can feel him, and I know if I go into the house from the garage, I'm going to see him, and I can't take it. So I took a walk around the neighborhood, and the following morning, Dave, I was getting out of bed, and I walked down the little hallway into our master bathroom, and I made a right, and I'm not kidding you. I saw Rufus in his full form sitting in front of a window near my toilet, full form. His ears were up, and he looked exactly like that. Oh. And I stopped, I took a gasp, and I stared at him for a few seconds because I thought, oh, this is just my mind. And he didn't move. He just kept looking at me, and I closed my eyes, and I turned around and walked out of the room, and I used another bathroom in our house. So I didn't say anything to anybody because I was like, they're just going to say that, oh, it's your stress, it's your mind, your brain trying to protect itself. Well, nothing happened that day. The second day, Dave, the next morning when I woke up, so I have a habit of closing my blinds at night in the whole house. In the morning, as soon as I wake up, I open all the blinds. There's several windows in our patio that face the back, and there was a big tree. And there's a bench in front of these three windows that face this tree in our backyard. He would always sit there, and we had all kinds of, we since removed the tree, but we had all kinds of bird houses and bird feeders. So he seemed to like to watch the birds come and go, but the squirrels were a trigger for him. So he'd go and he'd jump off that bench and chase the squirrels, and then he'd come back and sit there and wait for them again.
The same way it is with Greg.
The second time I saw him, which was the second day, I started opening the blinds, and it was the same. I saw the back of him, Dave, and this time his ears were down. And what was strange to me, and I knew that this wasn't just a figment of my imagination, I actually saw through him this time. I could actually see the tree, but I could tell that was clearly him. And I quickly closed the blind, and I went to go into another room, and I started praying, oh, dear God, you please take this vision from me. I can't handle this now. And then, of course, I'm thinking, I'm losing my mind. So that night I started telling people, and they're like, oh, Rich, if this keeps happening, we're really worried for you. I'm like, no, nobody else seemed to see this, Dave. So the third night, believe it or not, I was with our pup. I don't know if you can see her, the Belgian Malinois over there. So she was only like 3 months old at the time. I was laying on the couch and watching the Hoser Files, and it was like maybe 11 o'clock at night. And she jumped on the top of the couch, and she jumped off it, and she started barking. And then that's when I grabbed my phone, and I started taking a video. So she ran down the hallway towards our offices, and then she turned around and went to my bedroom and acted like she was just following somebody or something. And then she went to my back door, and she stood there for a second. And then she came back onto the couch, and that was it. So since then, I've never heard anything. So, my better half said, well, I think Rufus is finally at peace. I think that for some reason he thought he needed to stay here and make sure that everything was okay. So that was the story I wanted to share, because I've never seen anything physical apparition before.
Well, that's at least you got a connection with someone you loved. You got kind of that last chance to see him run and play and be in there. That's beautiful. Pets don't leave us. I don't think they leave us for a while. We lost our cat Scarlet almost 2 years ago, and in bed. We'll be in bed, and you can still feel something leap up on the bed and walk over and lay down on one of us. And it's we still have 4 cats. So, it could be, you think it's one of them, but you wake up or go to pet them and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
But that happens. Richard, thank you. Happy birthday. Thank you for sharing the story with us. We appreciate it. Oh, sorry. Go. What was that?
Thank you for having me, Dave. It's a privilege and an honor. I love you all. Thanks so much.
Take care, Richard.
Thank you.
Rich.
Thank you. Oh, God, I keep cutting him off. He's like
I
try to end the story and he keeps going.
I know exactly what that's like.
Yeah,
I bet you do.
Let me remove him, and we will bring in our next. Now,
come in.
Somebody's left, folks. That means you can keep trying. I keep getting notifications. You're trying to get in. As somebody goes, jump on, and we'll try to get you
room in the
here.
end.
Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the great state of confusion, Ben Turner is with us.
Hey, Dave. Great to meet you. Been following you for a short time. Love you guys. My question, or my little story, is really short, but it's more in the form of a question.
Okay.
A long time ago, I was living in Bisbee, Arizona. You probably know that, or know that place rather. Was in a church of all places. I used to play drums there a long time ago. Was there late one night playing on I also ran the audio visual stuff. So when nobody was around, I'd use their computer because it was better than mine at home. I was playing Crisis on it at the time. Yeah, go figure. That probably lost me some points there. But was there late one night, was playing away, and I thought it was like 5. I look up and it's completely dark. Okay, no biggie. It's a church. How much trouble can a church be, honestly? But you could hear somebody, like a little kid, laughing and some moving around in the side room. And I thought it was no big deal because we had a cleaning person that would come in at night. Well, okay, I fumble around, find the lights. There's nobody else in the church. Okay, now my question is that led to my question rather. How often do you think that stuff like that occurs in church? Is it very rare, or?
I don't, I posted a video not too long ago on my TikTok and Instagram of a preacher that was in church. He was trying to gear people up for what's going to be coming up this week in the sermon, and the podium kept falling over. The flag started swaying on its own. This isn't something they would try to promote, obviously, but I've spoken to a lot of pastors and priests, holy men, and churchgoers that have been there and have seen things happen at the churches. I think it happens much more than you would think, and here's the deal. I always wondered, well, why? I've been told that we do attend our own funerals. So maybe the spirit kind of hangs around there. And listen, if you find yourself in a crisis point, you passed away maybe suddenly and not sure what's going on, the church may be the one place you feel comfortable going to. So that would make sense of why there would be spirits kicking around in there. There's a lot of churches that have, they're doing photographs of baptisms or this, that, and the other. And like old priests that used to be there show up in the photographs. So it does happen.
Well, thank you for that.
Dave, think about, I mean, all of us, Marty and Chachi and I and you, we've been to a ton of churches in Europe.
Right.
Scores of churches in Europe and also cathedrals. And a lot of those have very, very strange histories behind them. But they also, over there, they also have people buried in the floor and in the walls too. So, there is that. But yeah, man,
it's like Chachi's house. He's got people buried in the walls. I've been told.
Well, let's not talk about that though.
That's see when you walk into his foyer, that all that marble, that white marble, is actually children's bones that have been.
Oh my God! You're ground down, made in the limestone.
But it looks so good. The way the color.
Banker. What are you going to do
through the flooring?
It's a money changer.
Oh, gee, I can't even. Ben, it's just you and me going forward. I cannot. All right. Ben, thank you so much for being a part of the show tonight, sharing your story. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Dave. I must admit, I always thought your show would be a well-oiled machine starting out. Now I see the man behind the curtain.
We're well-oiled, all right.
Yeah, we're very oiled. That's
bubble gum and popsicle sticks. Yep.
Yeah.
You guys take care. Love you. Have a great evening.
Take care, Ben, too. That's awesome.
Funny.
All right. Let's we'll move it on so that we can keep shuffling people in. Let's go. We've got one more guest we'll get to before we go to a break, a very short break. But ladies and gentlemen, we are about to go international, all the way from Canada, right down by the Texas border.
Wow.
We've got Grace popping on. Hi, Grace. Turn on your microphone, please.
Come on, Grace.
Yes. Sorry, rookie.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, Grace.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is, I think, your first visit on Paranormal 60, right?
Yes.
You've been with me on Darkness Radio and Beyond the Darkness, I think, in the past. Welcome to this program. Thanks for being here. What have you got to share with us tonight?
So I actually have a kind of like a weird paranormal experience that's been happening since last year. That started last year. And it's been going on. It started at work of all places. And I'm a teacher. And so I'll just share the few things that have been happening and then can get you guys input if you want. So
sure.
Last year, my cousin and I went for a hike. So it started the day before. My cousin and I went for a hike and we were foraging and we were basically alone in this path. And I know, Dave, you hate the outdoors, but it was perfect spring kind of weather. Like it was a light snow, no mosquitoes, no bugs. It was a perfect hiking condition. Anyhow, so we're foraging.
Stop trying to make it sound alluring. It's not going to work.
Dave. Enjoy
it. Was so beautiful. It was the sun. It was the breeze. No bugs.
No, just
I've been out in the wilderness with Dave, and he does not do well.
Not at all.
And Marty whines when you climb on his back for a ride over the water. He's such a baby about it.
Come
all right,
on,
so please go ahead. Beautiful walk.
So we're going
no mosquitoes. Good going. Yeah.
Condition. And anyhow, so we're having a conversation, and she was kind of a little bit further, about 10 feet away from me, and she was asking me a question. I told her, hold on a second. I think I hear people coming, right? And I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. Good 5 minutes probably go by. And her and I both just kind of sitting there. I'm like, okay, that's weird. We both heard like an audible whisper, like a female's voice, like kind of like whispering. I thought nothing of it. I'm like, okay, you know what? It's the wind carrying whatever. So the next day I'm at work, tell my coworker this. So I have to set the story. So my school doesn't start till 8:30 in the morning. So we're there 7:30, 7:45. We're the only two in the hallway, and she's in my classroom. And I was telling this story about my hiking experience and that weird voice I heard. She's like, oh, okay, that's weird. And then she's telling me what's happening to her, like what she did on the weekend. And all of a sudden, we both heard from directly behind me a male's voice go, hello, and his cadence, like in that voice. And it stopped her and I in the conversation. And I looked around, and like she looked behind me, I looked behind me. There was nobody there. And it sounded like it came right behind me. My friend's not a believer. She gets freaked out. She knows I collect all my creepy dolls. Every time I talk about it, she literally does the sign of the cross. She goes, nope, 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 nope. I don't want to hear about it. So she looked at me. I said, what? And so I buzzed the office. We went outside. I started going around the classrooms. There was nobody there. So thought nothing of it. So this year, a lot of weird things been happening in my classroom. So a few months ago, my coworker and I were sitting there, helping my students. And all of a sudden we heard the door of my classroom latch. Like, it's one of those kind of like the newer doors that kind of you have to pull the handle up and close it. We're sitting there and we both heard the door latch open. And we both looking around. I'm like, there's nobody there. My students are kind of looking around like, who's coming behind or who's coming through the doors? And they saw nobody. So my friend, she looked at me. She's like, okay, that is really weird. I said, yes, I agree. Fast forward a few weeks ago, it's, working with my students. I'm working one-on-one with my, or rather a group of my students. And I hear somebody humming. So I said, okay, guys, great. You guys are humming, but we're trying to do independent work right now. Please stop the humming. It stopped. And I heard it again. I stopped. I was working with my students. I stopped. I said, I'm sorry, guys. I have to stop. Like, who is humming? This is very, very distracting. Like, you guys need to stop. And I was asking a few of my students, I'm like, was it you? They're like, no, was it you? And I teach grade 1, right? So they lie, but not to the point where like they don't get in trouble. Do you know what I mean? Like they'll like little white lies. So I asked one of the students, like, was that you? And I was asking, and they said, no, no, no. And then 2 of my students both looked at me and they're like, Miss Hope, we both heard that. And now my students are hearing these voices as well. And this has been ongoing, like weird things in my classroom of like, disembodied voices. Like I said, that male voice, these like humming, sounds like a child's voice, which is kind of creepy. Yes. Work in a classroom. And people think like, well, it's like your kids are joking around. I'm like, no, it was not them, because they would have said it's so-and-so, like, and they all, like the 2 of them that we both heard this, or like all 3 of us heard, and they're like, yeah, we heard that too. And they were,
yeah, you're right. Kids are the worst. They would have been pointing it out to who did it and totally tattling. Well, your hello story reminds me of being with Grant Wilson at the Stanley Hotel as we were walking down one of the hallways and didn't realize that there was a fan around the corner. He farted and it sounded like it said hello. And as he walked past, the woman goes, "Oh, hello." So that was the first thing that
does
came to
that
mind.
all the time. I don't know how he does that. It's amazing.
It's amazing. So, well, listen, you're in a school. There's a lot of charged energy in a school. You've got all these kids, this chaotic energy. And, they're terrified, they're excited, they're happy, they're scared, they're, missing their family. So there's got to be a lot of imprints there. Right. So I've got to guess that's a ripe condition. I don't think you necessarily have to be dead to haunt a location. I think some of the trepidation from these kids and
trepidation.
If you, you like that? Trepidation. It's on my calendar of the day you gave me. So the other thing to consider is, do you have any special needs kids in your class? I don't know. Is that the right term now?
Yes. It's still, I actually have 4 kids with, who are on the spectrum, the ASD spectrum.
Yes. So here's my point. Some children on the spectrum project. So you very well could be hearing what's going on in here, the humming that they do to calm themselves while they're working. And I believe that some of the kids on the spectrum, and they're doing more work and research on this, but I think some of them are very sensitive and I think can project. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of the noises and things you're hearing are actually coming from the special needs students projecting it into real time, into real world, and not even realizing they're doing it. Because if you hear things, right, like you hear things in your head in a song and then it happens to be on the radio, you might not even realize it because you're just hearing it in your head, right? So that could be part of it. I don't know. That's just one of my theories that I've been talking about. And I've had, we've got a couple of special need kids and I'm friends with some parents that have them. And a lot of us believe they're very sensitive and have abilities to see and hear and experience things that a lot of us cannot.
That is funny you'd say that, because I had a student, and this will be finishing that kind of continues with the story. About 2 years ago, she's also on the spectrum. And I had her, and she was always very quiet. And she would only say certain things. She became obsessed with certain, like drawing, whatever, which is fine. So my students all know I love Halloween. So they always say, like, for Halloween, decorated and everything. So last year, she's now in my friend's classroom. And like, she also knows that she's very quiet, but one day she came up and she knows she's very tired, right? And she's like, more quiet than usual. So my friend, and so she's like, "Are you okay?" She goes, "No." And she's like, "I'm fine, but I've been sleeping well." She goes, "Wait, that." She goes, like, Because the little boy in my room won't leave me alone at night.
Yeah.
And so my friend, she's like, she called me right away. She's like, how do I deal with this? She's like, what do I say? But you're right. Some kids, they will say things and they know things. But the weirdest one that I still think it's the weirdest one was that male's voice saying hello to me. Like that one, it just still cannot explain how and
very
who it was.
Cool stuff. Well, you're Canadian. You're very polite there. I wouldn't be surprised if ghosts are just like, hello, eh? And then right out the
take
door.
Off.
Take off.
Eh?
Very cool. Grace, I miss you. I hope we get to connect again sometime soon and see you out in the real world. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
So much for joining us.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Hey, guys, can we get a little drum roll, please?
Hey.
Check this out. Boom, for the 150th episode. Richard,
our guest.
My gosh. Congratulations on 150. Thank you again for having me on the show. Love you guys. A donation of $150 to the program. Thank you, Richard.
Richard, keep watching because next week is our 1 millionth episode.
Oh, yeah. So.
Yeah, we got a 1 millionth minute episode. We are definitely going to be a part of. Thank you so much, Richard.
Incredible.
That is amazing. Yeah, wow.
That's
don't
awesome.
Hey folks, don't feel that you should try to step up to that level. You could just start off with $50 donations. I know we had an earlier one. Thank you very much. So many great things, so many great guests, so many great people popping on. Like I said, some have dropped off now. If you've been trying to get on, this is your chance to try to get back in to the green room, and we will add you to the show. We do have to take a couple of quick breaks. First, I want to mention coming up on July 1st, I'm going to be at the USS North Carolina in Wilmington, North Carolina. Are you ready to investigate history with us? Get Haunted is hosting me in for the weekend. I would love to meet you and investigate the USS North Carolina. You can get information at darknessevents.com. This weekend, I'll be in Baraboo, Wisconsin at the Celebrity Old Saloon Ghost Hunt and Paracon all day this Saturday. It is free to get in from like 1 o'clock to 5, so you can come on in and meet me, and I'll have autographed pictures and hugs and all kinds of fun stuff. You can come on, and then that night they've got ghost hunts and VIP meet and greets and a bunch of cool stuff. Tickets are still on sale. Again, you'll find more information about that by going to darknessevents.com. Then the pop-up Paracon Midwest Paranormal Conference taking place Saturday, July 8th. From 10 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the Woodstock Opera House in Woodstock, Illinois. I would love to see you there. A lot of great guests, and Shane Pittman's just been added. So you'll get to see me, Chris Fleming, Shane Pittman, and a host of other awesome speakers on all different aspects of the paranormal and supernatural. And Chachi looks good in our Paranormal 60 shirt, but not as good as Danny from Get Haunted. She is modeling our Paranormal 60 shirt, the Darkling edition, here on the image for you. We do have the shirt out, 4 different backs to choose from. Don't scare me, I poop easily. Darkling, Paranormal Talk Radio, or Words is Hard. That is our catchphrase every Wednesday here on the program. The beautiful Paranormal 60 full color image on the front of the shirt. The shirts start off at just $25 for small through XL. Double X is $26, triple X 27, and 4 and up $30. Shipping here in the United States only. We'd love for you to get a shirt. If you'd like to, email me, Dave at paranormal60.com. That's Dave at paranormal60.com. And we will make sure that you get a t-shirt so that you can support and love the show. Yeah. Dave at paranormal60.com. All right. Hold tight. We'll be back. We've got more coming your way right here on the Paranormal 60 150th episode. Innovation, creation, vitality, and joy are the pulse of mysoultopia.com, with many custom creations for the mind, body, and spirit, along with classes, intuitive sessions, coaching, and healing energies. MySoultopia.com strives to bring sophistication with a twist to the metaphysical and the holistic market, while raising the community's vibration and channeling the new paradigm, which means new and exciting adventures for all. MySoultopia.com is utopia for your soul. Visit MySoultopia.com, your one-stop shop for all your metaphysical needs. Offering hand-selected crystals and crystal jewelry, with prices to fit every budget. MySoultopia.com offers the best selections of tarot and divination cards by top designers, expertly curated and award-winning book collections from top authors on every subject you'll need on your spiritual journey. My Soultopia is also proud to offer the finest singing bowls and an eclectic collection of the most amazing gemstones, crystals, and crystal jewelry from the top metaphysical designers in the world. MySoultopia.com is always your one-stop shop for award-winning mixes of Florida water, sage spray, and other spiritual protection. So begin your journey with the best resource, MySoultopia.com. That's MySoultopia.com. Why mess with the rest when you can start with the best? MySoultopia.com. Again, that's MySoultopia.com.
Haunted Magazine is a publication dedicated to all things paranormal and spooky. Each issue features articles, interviews, and stories about ghosts, hauntings, and other unexplained phenomena. The magazine also covers topics such as cryptozoology, UFOs, and other aspects of the supernatural. Expect to find in-depth investigations of haunted locations, first-hand accounts of ghostly encounters, and reports of paranormal events and attractions. The magazine also includes features on the latest ghost hunting technology and techniques, as well as tips for those looking to search the supernatural on their own. Issue 37, The Frights of Spring, will be in stores from March 6th. So remember, don't be normal. Be paranormal, and order your copy today.
All right, we are back. This is the Paranormal 60 150th episode. We're having a good time tonight. We've got all of you to thank for that. There have been some people clearing out of the back green room, so there are spots available. If you've got the link, and I'll have Winnie put it up again in the live YouTube stream so that you can find it easily. We'd love to have you join us on the program to share your stories. Now, let's join Eric P. Eric, where are you checking in from?
Hey, I'm checking in from Georgia.
Georgia, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I've been listening to you guys for about, same as Richard, about 2 months at work, you know, just bored at work. And I'm like, let's just do this, you know?
I like it. Well, welcome to the show. What did you want to share with us?
So I used to live in Pennsylvania. So, you know, one haunted state to another. And I went to Gettysburg a few times. And the first time I went to Gettysburg, I always never really believed in anything that much. And, you know, and I was just like, came to a point, was like, you know, that's pretty arrogant of myself being like, oh, this doesn't exist, blah, 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 you know? So I don't know, but I wanted to experience it firsthand. And first time I went, nothing really happened, you know, just voices. And I was just like, okay. And I was like, I want to do it again. And I did it with a professional company. I forget what the company name was, but did an investigation with them. And that turned everything around for me. We were in the woods, and the tour was supposed to be about 3 hours long. And we spent about 2 hours in one spot in the woods because I was like, I don't want to leave. This is insane. We heard a whistle and didn't know where that came from. And I was like, do it again. Like, I was trying to be a tough guy, you know, and and I was just like, do it again. And the whistle happened again, like right on cue. And I was like, okay, what's going on here? Got a EVP thing. It was like a soldier named Richard. And I was like, oh, hey, Richard, let's have a drink together. Let's go sit over here on this rock. And, you know, trying to do that. There was no wind that night. It was summer, about August or so. There was no wind. And I was like, for me to believe in you, make this weed turn. It was just a big weed that was out of the ground. It's like, make it blow, do something. And this weed just started doing this and started turning. And I was like, all right, where do we go from here?
Right.
That was an experience. I do have a photo.
Well, let me ask you though, Eric, for somebody who needed to have something happen, even though that wasn't like a, cannon fodder over the fields or an amputee victim laying on the ground calling out to his sergeant, it's still pretty cool when you have that. How did that impact you personally?
That it changed my whole world about everything. Like I was like, okay, Bigfoot's real. Like I was just that everything just went just bananas for me. Especially like later that night we go to Sachs Bridge. And we went there, and I know there was an oak tree that was over there that I think there was a woman that may have like been hung at the time because of the times and everything. I forget what the whole story was. The towns, Native American, she was married to a Native American, townspeople found out that whole thing. Right. And I'm about to touch the tree, and the guy was like, "Oh, no, don't touch that." And I was like, "Why?" And he was like, 7 years bad luck if you do that. And I was like, not touching it. Yeah. So that was just a little, I don't know if that's like a local superstition or something, but 7 years bad luck, don't touch this oak tree. I was with one of my buddies, and he started to feel weird, and he was like, "Why am I about to cry?" And I was like, "Are you good?" Like I kind of moved away from him a little.
Nice support, Eric. Good support.
Go ahead and squeeze one out, boy.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, "Are you good?" And he's like, "I don't know." And we're like, "Maybe you're feeling this woman's emotions right now." Like this is insane. Go over to the bridge. Nothing was really going on. Like I was gonna say, I do have a photo of, like, I could probably send it to you, Dave, maybe through the email.
Please.
And you could probably pop it up here later. Yeah. Wait, it should get there, right? It was to me, and I wanted to send it to you to see if this is legit or not. It looks like a soldier running. And you can see the legs, the arm going like this, a hat, like it's insane. And I was like, "What is this?" And this was my second time going out, and this guy's like, "You possibly have a full apparition like on your phone." Like
that's awesome. Yeah, send it to me, Dave at paranormal60.com. Dave at paranormal60. I've got to see it. Yeah, we'll share it on Wednesday. Yeah.
And yeah, that whole game changed my life. And I do have a quick little
Eric. The funny thing is, it seems like for me, it's the little things. It's not like the ghost appears in front of me and says, "I am the ghost of Christmas past," and it's all these little things that if you just pay attention. It seems to be all these little subtle messages or something to say, "Hey, we're here, dude. We're here."
Yeah.
But they can't really,
like I'm not expecting Casper to show up and be like, "Hey,
right.
What's
going on?" Yeah. So anyway.
No, little like side thing. And then I just like my mom's old house. My mom always told me, "Oh, our old house was haunted, blah, 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 blah." And she was saying that her parents had her sleep with Bibles next to her and everything. And at my mom's old house, I always felt, and this is before I even really believed in anything, I always felt something was like behind me all the time. Like it just was like this heavy, and I couldn't explain it. And I would tell my mom, and she's like, "I don't know." And there would be a couple times like I would wake up with like scratches like on my leg or my arm or something. And then I found out it was possibly thanks. It was possibly my grandpa that I never met, and he was an angry person. He was an alcoholic, and so like pretty much the whole side, like my guys in my family, like my uncles, a lot of people drink.
Let's not start talking about people who drink.
I mean, hey, I got something right here, so we're good. You know?
Okay. Well, just
look, Greg's getting real uncomfortable. Did you see him pulling out the
Yeah.
collar, turning flaming red there? Yeah.
No, we drink at a pace. It's okay.
That's right. Much better.
But
there you go.
Yeah, it was just like I always felt like something was watching me or something behind me, and I would go to my sister's house. I'd fall right to sleep easy, nothing around. I would just go back home and be like, man. And then I just started to ignore it. And then that heaviness like went away. And that's when I was like, what is this? And I just kind of immersed myself in like pretty much almost everything paranormal at that point.
Well, welcome to the club, Eric. And thank you for being a part of our show tonight and sharing your stories.
Yeah, thanks you so much for having me.
Thanks,
nice
man.
meeting you.
Awesome, bud.
Take care. I like the Macho Man Randy Savage shirt he was
I was
wearing.
going to comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice.
Do you have a story to read? What's going on here, man?
No, this is not the news. Back off, man. We've got more people waiting to come on board. Let's get to it. We've got Sherry. Sherry, where are you calling in from this evening?
Good evening. I'm actually in Tennessee, not too far from Eric there.
Oh, very cool. Well, welcome to the program. And what did you want to share with us tonight, Sherry?
Oh, the stories I could tell. I think tonight I'm going to talk about shadow people. What the heck are shadow people?
Nightmare fuel, basically, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I've lived in 2 different apartments that had shadow people in them, and I just find them, in my experience, they travel in pairs, and they just stand there and stare. They're just observing, and I'm just like, do that somewhere else. Go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're in my peripheral. You're annoying me.
That's how Greg and I feel about Chachi and the Colonel.
Oh,
just travel in pairs and just stand there and stare. Usually drunken stupor, but we don't.
Trying to get a little sleep on the couch. Turn the fan on. You're nice and cool, and they're just standing there looking at you.
So Sherry brought up a good point, Dave. And, they say that a lot of hotel rooms have some sort of violence associated with them, death or something like that. Do you think apartments kind of go along that line as well?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's where people live. I got an apartment after my divorce, and I was on the second floor. The floor above me, the guy paced all night, walking around, pacing. It drove me nuts till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning every night. And finally, I caught one of the maintenance guys, and I'm like, can you please go up and tell the guy in the apartment above me to knock it off? He's walking till 3 or 4, and it's heavy stomping constantly. And he goes, okay, yeah, I'll handle it. And then it continues. I go down to the main office. I complain to the main office. They're like, okay, yeah, we'll look into it. And then finally, I catch him again like 2 weeks later. I'm like, dude, I've complained to you. I've complained to the main office. Do I got to go up and punch this guy in the nose? And he goes, come on. So we go upstairs. I'm like, oh my God, do I actually have to punch this guy in the nose?
Yeah, I guess
we go up there, and he goes, and we wait, nothing. And I just heard the walking around, right? Nothing. And he pulls out the zip string with the keys, unlocks the door and opens it up, and he goes, go on in. I go, I'm not going to go into somebody's apartment. He could shoot me. He goes, nobody's going to shoot you in there, sir. And I walk into the apartment completely empty. He goes, nobody's lived here for about 4 months. I said, dude, I'm telling you, I have footsteps. He goes, I know, we've all heard it. He goes, we just didn't know what to tell you. What do you say? Yeah, we're aware of it. And I go, do you know who I am? You tell Darkness Dave you've got a ghost upstairs so I could deal with it instead of listening to Stompy Stomperton all night long.
That's right.
But yes, I do believe that there's a lot of apartments that have some dark history to them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I had one that when we moved into it, I had nightmares every night for 2 months. It was, the energy there was horrible.
Do you remember? I mean, you don't have to get into the details, but do you remember what the nightmares were? Like, was it a murder victim or something that, I was just wondering if you ever looked it up to see if there was any, background information on why it might be so crazy.
It kind of felt like a like really violent child abuse kind of scenario.
Oh.
And it was centered in one of the smaller bedrooms in the closet, like someone used to hide in there or something.
Mm-hmm.
So like, oh, okay, no, we got to cleanse this place.
Yeah. Jess Finch from the live chat says, my boyfriend's apartment is a shadow figure. He likes to hang out in the hallway or around the corners. Yeah. Time to move.
That is messed up.
Yeah. Time to move.
Yeah.
Kind of making you feel awkward. Did you have anything else you wanted to share with us, Sherry?
I think those are a couple good stories for tonight.
Oh, yeah. Those are very good. Sherry, thank you for being a part of our 150th
thank
episode.
You, Sherry.
Thanks for having me.
You were a pleasure. Thank you for being here. She was also another one that's been waiting in the back room for quite a while. So thank you, Sherry. We appreciate the patience and the
Dave,
love. Yes.
When I was a kid, hanging out around Rockdale, we didn't know much about ghosts or anything like that. And I would talk to a lot of the old vets that hung out at the McVoy's grocery store. And I would walk around. I was a little kid and I would walk around and just go into the different shops downtown and just see what they were. I didn't have any money. I just go in there. One day I walked into the paint store. It was like a Sherwin-Williams paint store, but it was really small. It was old. You got to remember, this is a very old building, 1870s probably. And when I walked in, the old man is sitting at the counter on the far end of the building. It's those long buildings, those long skinny buildings.
Right.
Sitting there and he's staring to my left, just staring.
Mm-hmm.
And I see him and I kind of walk around and I walk around the paint. I walk around, I look and he's still staring. I walk up and then all of a sudden he looks like he's startled. He goes, oh, hey. I'm like, what were you looking at? He goes, I see him there all the time. This is just some old man, you know.
Oh, jeez.
He goes, I see him there all the time. And I said, see who? He goes, and he looks at me and says, the man that used to own this building hung himself right there underneath the stairs. And I see him there all the time. Now, this old man that I'm talking to was an old 82nd Airborne paratrooper from World War II. And I'd talked to him many times. He's a straight up, really squared away guy and not at all outside the box, very much inside the box. But it's weird, you know, and people see these things and then they, you know, everybody tells them to blow it off. Oh, it's just your imagination or whatever. I think it's something else.
Really?
I think it is.
All right. What do you think it is? Are you going to leave us hanging or what?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Just drop it there.
I don't think it's just your imagination. I don't think it's just, you know, I saw my cat 100 times walk through the room and then my cat dies. The next day out of the corner of my eye, I see a shadow and I think it's my cat. And I look and of course it's not my cat because my cat died last week. So he's not here. Yeah. Well, maybe he is.
Yep. I'm a firm believer. Let's go to Tracy, although we're just getting a beautiful look outside a back door. There's beautiful. Tracy. Tracy, were you just letting us watch the sunset? Were you trying to show me how long you had to wait that sun was actually going down? You have to turn your microphone on to be heard, Tracy. That's the way we work the show here. There you go.
Yeah, that's the view of my backyard.
Tracy and I were talking all day today.
Yes, we were. Are you sick of me yet?
No.
Okay, cool. Actually, I just have
Welcome
more
to
of
the
a
show.
question.
Okay.
Thank you. My question is, why don't the four of you guys ever get to a location, like maybe once or twice a year, and stream and do like the Paranormal 60 from that location?
Why don't we do that?
We would, but we would set it up and then Greg would pretend to not know about it. And then he wouldn't show up and then he'd complain about how we left him out. 2 weeks ago when they all came here and we were going to do that.
Exactly.
Greg, anything?
Tracy, I would love to say I'll try harder.
Thank you.
Tracy, we did a live episode aboard the Jericho cruise. The Colonel and Chachi showed up. Somebody else didn't make it.
I wonder who.
Yeah. Stop rubbing your chin on the microphone. My God. This is why we don't let him out in public.
Yeah.
But that's rubbing your chin on the microphone.
Suggestion there, Tracy. I think we should do that more often.
Yeah, more often, because I try and watch you guys every week. Myself and my girlfriend do, but it's kind of nice that you guys have such a rapport with each other, and just to get yourself to some kind of nifty location, and then that way you guys have not just news stories, but you guys can discuss all the weird stuff that happened at that particular location. Would be really cool.
Okay,
yeah, we'd love
Tracy,
to.
I promise for her, I will do it next time. So y'all set it up.
Wow,
great.
So,
okay, cool. We'll talk later.
Set it up.
Chachi and Marty are going to be here on the 3rd of July, so you'll be with them.
What are you talking about?
4th of July weekend.
See, Tracy, this is the same. Wow.
No,
I guess we'll just be doing it
on 4th of July weekend.
I know we're not going to be. Tracy, thank you for watching, and thank you for enjoying the rapport or whatever we have, but we have it. Thank you for being a part of it and being a part of our show tonight.
Thanks,
Trace. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, very sweet. How do you know Tracy?
She's awesome. So she
that wasn't the question. How do you know, officer? Please, facts only.
Yes, facts
the question was, how do you know Tracy?
I met her in Liberty, Missouri, and then she contacted me about the Tombstone event, put me in touch with the city of Tombstone, and I ended up emceeing the Tombstone event.
Wow.
So she is the woman for Tombstone.
She is the gal for Tombstone. Well,
yes.
looking forward to it. You know what? Real quickly, I just had Blind Dog was in the waiting room. And now as soon as I'm ready to go to him, he bails off.
Of course he does, because he's in Marshall, Texas, and they had some tornadoes and stuff up there, and so everything's all jacked up.
Well,
priorities, Greg. Priorities. Okay.
We do have one more live streamer, and this is a good friend of mine. She's been a friend and a supporter of the show for 16, 18 years, somewhere along there. She's got to turn her microphone on so we can hear her.
She looks like a robot.
White and round.
Yeah. Cap and Nina, you got to turn your you got to unmute yourself so we can hear you. Are you there, Nina? Nina, my friend?
I think she might be in Marshall, Texas. I think she lost electricity.
She fell asleep. It's happened before. Nina, let me know when you're back there and we'll bring you back. Speaking of Marshall, Texas, let's go there now. It looks like Blind Dog is trying to make his presence known. Blind Dog, are you there?
I was there.
Okay, well, we can hear you at least, Blind Dog.
I'm there. Hey, I'm there. Hey, what's up?
Blind Dog.
Greetings, Mud Dog in the house.
Mud Dog.
For a while it was Blood Mind Dog, and then it was something else. I don't know. Good evening, gentlemen. Congratulations, gentlemen. That's right. Words is hard. Congratulations on 150. That's amazing.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And I specifically was going to load up your song, and Greg reported to me repeatedly he's not coming on, Dave. He will not be here.
We had 4 days of power failure, and then when I finally got online tonight, it keeps going off again. So it is a miracle that I am here. What's been up, guys?
Well, Blind Dog, for those of you that don't know, has created some of our stellar Paranormal 60 Paratunes.
The best.
Yes, and he does the official news theme. He's been kicked offline again. So this will be a good time. Let's do this because we do have, guys, we have an email and we've got a song. So let me do this. It's, hello, Dave. You asked me to send some messages over from LinkedIn along with the MP3 music from my bands that are about the paranormal. Both of my bands have songs, and I've written and recorded just about this subject. I'm a sensitive, so I tend to write about the subject from time to time. I have one called Demon in My Window that I'll get to you later. These all have to do with the spirit world, sensitives, etc. The first one, Given Sight, has a guitar lead by my friend Jimmy Bell, who played with the Geezer Butler Band of Black Sabbath fame. Was in a movie with Joan Jett and now plays for Autograph and House of Lords. The bass player who played on that album, the first Fiction 6 album, and who plays on the song is Tony the Fretless Monster Franklin, who played with The Firm and Blue Murder. And my Fiction 6 bandmates played for Montrose, King Cobra, The Babies, XYZ, and others. So, of course, he tells me that song is called Given Sight, and I didn't choose that song. Is that all right? I didn't. But it is time.
It's time now for Paratunes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So here we have, ladies and gentlemen, this is Fiction 6 with Whispers in the Dark on Paratunes here on the Paranormal 60 150th episode. Yeah, Fiction
That was
6.
good. That was good.
How is
Hey,
it? I hear a band like that.
You see this right here? This is the way I was the whole time. I want to party with those guys.
Yeah. That was a
great.
great song. What's up, Chachi? Hold on. Chachi had a point he was attempting to make. Where were you going with that?
I've been relatively quiet tonight because this burger isn't sitting so well with me, Dave.
Oh,
I just want to be honest, okay? I think
believe.
maybe Dave was right about that. I'm going to go on a Twitter rant later. But like, you hear a band like that, and you were like, how are they not all over the radio?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well produced, good sounding, talent. They come from all these other great bands. Just
And
blows
they
my
had
mind.
a fun
America.
video. That was a fun video.
It's amazing how they you're right, Josh. You just don't hear about them. Like, what's going on here, man?
Well, there's a thing that doesn't happen anymore. It's called radio.
Yeah.
Well,
they
good
don't break
point.
bands like they used to.
No.
He's also in a band called Kick the Wicked. He has a song called Firefly. We'll play that in a couple of weeks. Listen, I see chaos going on backstage at the Johnson home. Caponina is back.
Crazy.
And things are going. All I see is spastic camera actions going on. Things are moving.
The whole family's
Caponina,
here.
a good friend.
Oh, look
yeah,
at there.
we
Hey,
got Ben
Dave.
and Sarah Rose.
Hey,
Hi,
guys.
Everybody's there.
Congrats on your 150th. So
Thank
happy
you.
for you, my friend.
I
We love
appreciate
you.
it.
You know
Thank you.
that.
I do. Hi, baby girl.
Look at
How
there.
are you? I've seen. Yes, I see.
We
Look
got
at
the
the
puppy
lovely
dog,
Tig.
too.
So I have known Ben, who you see in the background, looking somewhat like an Amish serial killer back there, just stalking in the darkness. I've known Ben since he was about his sister's age. Am I right?
Oh, younger than that, since he was about
Wow.
4.
4
So,
years
yeah.
old. Yeah. And now he's a gentleman,
Oh,
21
turn the
years
electric on.
old. Yep, there you go. 21. He's from college. He's doing fantastic. Sarah Rose
Yeah.
is a little sweetie who I first got to see and hold as just a wee little lass at WouijaCon in
Yep.
Baltimore, and now she's a big girl. Good to see
Yeah.
you guys.
We're
to
so
see you
happy
guys.
for you.
Thank you. I
I just
appreciate
have
it.
to tell you, you know, you love your Strawberry Crush.
Mm-hmm.
And at one event, this has
Yes.
been many years ago,
Right.
First Phenomenology,
Yes.
the first night after investigation,
Yeah.
we're in bed. There's a carton.
Well, wait. Now, when you say we're in bed, it makes it sound like you and me.
Okay,
Yeah,
So,
let's
let's
clarify that.
It would
Come
have
on,
been
little.
better if you'd been there, maybe.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's what I always say.
Ooh, I know.
her husband,
But,
Major
you know,
Woody, is not happy with that response.
Oh, there he
There
is.
he is.
Whoa.
with the big man.
He is.
But yeah, we ended up in our room at the Eisenhower.
Mm-hmm.
The curtain flew halfway across the room. I didn't sleep that entire night.
Yeah.
Now the next year, I don't know if you remember, we were doing some experiments. Belanger was in another room,
Mm-hmm.
and we were doing experiments with him. I was waiting on you guys to get there, and I was sitting outside that same room. Did not know it was haunted the year before, and I get on my Ovilus. Hi, Captain. And so yeah, we had some fun that night.
Calling you out. Yeah. That
Yeah.
place, the Eisenhower Hotel, Gettysburg, very crazy. I've had a lot of cool
Yeah.
experiences. Very weird stuff there.
Yeah, I never want to stay in that room again. Never.
No. I
Never.
don't think you'll have to. They're not doing phenomenology anymore. But the Gettysburg Battle Bash is coming up in July, and that is a great paranormal event for the raising money for wounded warriors and Heroes
cool.
for Hire for children that have terminal diseases. So you can go there. I believe that is around the 15th. Look it up. It's the Gettysburg Battle Bash. And it's an amazing event. I was there last year. I would have been there this year, but I'm going to be in Germany and Prague. But if you guys get a chance, you should go out and check that out. Yes, Sarah Rose.
So when I wasn't even born yet, Baba,
Yes. Yeah.
Mommy, and when Baba, Mommy, and Daddy used to live in the old house, and
Right.
you know the old house was haunted, right?
Yes, I do.
And so when Baba was a kid, and sometimes little ghost figures would come in the room and pretend like they're sleeping on the floor, and then when Mommy thinks it's Bubba, she'll try and pick him up, but it's not.
Do you know who it was?
No, it's a shadow figure.
I think it was you, Sarah Rose. I think you were coming early to visit your family, and you were running around as a little shadow girl, checking things out, sleeping on Bubba's floor.
He did dream about her the night I found out I was pregnant. He did wake up that morning and tell his dad, "Daddy, I dreamed last night I had a baby sister, and she looked like Elsa from Frozen with blonde hair and blue eyes."
And boom, there you've got it.
I've got it.
Very cool.
I've got some pretty amazing kids.
She's a pretty amazing family. I love you guys very much. Thank you so much for being a part of my journey and letting me be on your guys' journey. I appreciate it.
So glad to know you.
Thank you, my friends.
And congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Love you guys. They are one of the sweetest families. I've had a chance to know them and work with them for years. So it's great to have them stop by for the 150th. Ladies and gentlemen, in Texas, we have made some kind of connection again through the portal of time. And Blind Melon is now back with us. Blind Dog, good to see you, buddy. Thank you for figuring a way to stay online with us.
I'm back. That's what I get for having to phone it in. I'm sitting in an entire working studio, but I'm having to use a phone. Yeah, technology. Yeah,
dodging
and
tornadoes.
This is better quality, so it worked all right.
Yeah, it's fate, man.
Huh.
So, now, what do you want to know?
I want to know everything. When you are, obviously, I need to understand, are you some kind of like psychic seer? Because your name is Blind Dog, yet you notice every post I put up. You see the images. You guys, he sends me an email today saying, hey, if you guys all get to be serial characters, then I want to be this guy. And he sends me a picture of Sugar Bear. So
Sugar Bear was awesome.
Yeah, I concur.
You're my Sugar Bear.
Whoa, wow.
I don't even know what to say to that, but
wow.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks a lot.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. It's just our show, buddy. Just you and I.
It is what it is. So no, I'm not some kind of seer or anything. The thing is, I'm a musician, which means I don't have a real day job, which gives me like loads of internet time. What can I say?
I love it. And let me tell you, you are insanely
Did I lose you
good
again?
at what you do. No, you're here. We can see you. We can hear you. But you are insanely talented. You've created some amazing songs for us. And again, had I known you were definitely going to be on, I would have brought on a song or two to play. But I've got to tell you, what really touched my heart was the fact that you were tuning into a radio show that I was being interviewed on. And I was talking about stuff in my life and my struggles with depression and a paranormal experience that occurred at that time and such. And then you wrote me this beautiful letter that you felt motivated to write a song kind of inspired by that. And I will be honest with you. I played it for my family. My boys love Bruce Springsteen like I do. And you played it in kind of the vein of Bruce Springsteen. And I got all weepy. They got all weepy. Then I sent it over to Chachi and I'm like, wait till you hear what Blind Dog created now. And he's like, no way. I thought that was Springsteen. That is amazing. So
there you go. What can I say?
You are truly a gifted artist. Why are you working with Greg?
I met Greg in Jefferson, and we went back and did the second History's Haunts and Legends. I played P60 songs, and he lectured about them when I wasn't having technical difficulties.
Not you, Blind Dog.
The person that saved the day was Nikki Folsom. I got up to play. My mic stand falls apart, and she says, "Hey, I worked in theater. I've got this. I have duct tape. Will it be okay like this?" And I thought, well, sure. Greg asked me something, and I turn around, and then when I get back, the microphone is like right here in my chest. So when I start to play, I hear feedback. So I'm trying to move to block the feedback, and the mic is right here. So I'm bent down, and I'm trying to move. I look like Joe Cocker on acid. And when the show is over, I'm like, Greg, what the hell? Did you see that? He said, yeah, I've never seen you perform. I thought that's what it was always like.
I tell you what.
Hey, everybody in the audience is like this.
Yeah.
Nikki Folsom can take half a soundboard and a couple of wires and do miracles. I tell you what. She's
I'm
awesome.
gonna tell you, she rocked it that day. Thanks,
She
Nikki.
is awesome. She is amazing.
Y'all
Very
should keep her.
Have you Blind Dog ever had a paranormal experience yourself?
I think. Well, I mean, when I was a kid, I was always interested in UFOs. For me, I don't want to go chasing Bigfoot or cryptids or even snollygasters. For me, it's more the mystical things. But I was always interested in UFOs. Yeah, it is what it is, man. So when I was just for
the record, I don't want to go chasing you either, Blind Dog.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. The Snollygaster, which, by the way, you need to do the Snollygaster rap. I'm working on. I'm gonna write that for you. We're gonna go total Dr. Dre with it. Snollygaster love. It's gonna happen.
I like it. I like it already.
So anyway, my freshman year in college, my best friend that I grew up in Tennessee with, this guy named Pete, and his family moved to Georgia, and he died. He drowned that September. That New Year's, I went to visit his family in Columbus, Georgia, and everybody was gone one morning. I'm asleep on the couch, and it was old school phones with the real ringers. The phone didn't ring; it just kind of kind of barely tinkled. And I kind of barely tinkled. I'm older. That happens to me sometimes too. Anyway, so I go in and I pick up the phone, and it's just white noise, basically, ocean sounds. And it happens like 2 or 3 times. There was no fear. There was no anything. So finally, when I picked it up the last time, there was this noise, and it was just, shh, kind of white noise. And I just had this feeling in my gut, and I just called his name. I said, Pete, like that. And when I did, the phone just went, crackling in the dead silence. And there was no fear. There was no anything related to that experience, except after that, I never looked at anything mystical, spiritual, the same way after that. That's my story, Dave, and I'm sticking to it.
I like it, Blind Dog. I appreciate you. I appreciate you hanging in with us and the music that you've created for this program. And I would like to donate all of the money that people have given to you for the music you've done. I mean, I'm not going to, but I'd like to.
Well, yeah, it's the thought that counts. They say it's I'd like that too, Dave.
Yeah, so
I like that too because I've been working hard, man, out in the trenches every weekend in bars. Land in the mothership of music and love on the soft astroturf of unsuspecting souls. And what do I get? Nothing, Dave. Nothing.
That's not true. You get to work with the paranormal detective.
I do. It's been awesome, and you guys have been great. You sort of adopted me into the P6 Mafia, so that's great.
Yes.
Awesome.
Ooh, the P6 Mafia. I like that. You got to get a shirt that
says
that.
I do like it.
Taking notes right now. P6
Yeah,
Mafia.
hashtag P6 Mafia.
Mm-hmm.
Until we're killed by rappers.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's going to happen. We're way off their radar. Hey, let me ask you, Blind Dog. Could you make the songs available for download so people can pay 99 cents and get the awesome songs that you've created for the Paranormal 60?
Well, the current plan is to get an album's worth of material together and somehow work with you and have the whole Paranormal 60 project.
I'd love it.
Sort of like Alan Parsons of the Paranormal. That's me.
There you go.
I like it.
Alan Parsons project of the Paranormal.
I like that.
Yeah. Or the
Blind Dog Diatribes.
So you're working on one right now.
Greg, he's blind, not deaf. You don't have to yell at him, all right?
Yeah,
Jesus.
you're working on one right now.
I'm sorry, Greg. What are you saying? Get the hell off my lawn. So right now we're working on the Shadow People song, which we've had a lot of stuff going on. That's kind of in limbo. I want to do the Snollygaster thing with you. After that, I think I want to do a Roswell song. And then we'll see what happens from there.
I'm all for it.
Greg's giving me a deadline.
Yeah,
wow. I think that's been the problem is the deadline, and all of a sudden, maybe if we wouldn't have set the deadline, it'd be good.
Yes. Indeed, you've hampered my creativity.
Dog, not
Mark G says he's blind dog, not deaf cat, Greg. Greg's having Gregnical difficulties again.
Hey, I had them all night long. So there you go.
Not to be outdone, Day Trooper says, or Def Leppard.
That's good. That's good.
I like that.
I'm still going with Blood Mind Dog. Thanks,
Mind
Chachi.
Dog,
That was the best.
That was a hard night for Chachi. He had.
They're all hard, Marty. They're all
I know.
hard.
Well,
Blood
That's
Mind
not what she
Dog.
said. Let's ask you now before the show. Before the show, Martin, the Colonel, said that I am to ask you, Chachi, about the hair dryer story, but that only you could tell it. Would that fit into tonight's program?
That's a good question. Should we save it for the? See, Blood Mind Dog wants to hear it.
I do want to hear
give
this,
you
yeah.
I will give you the condensed version. Okay.
Okay.
Condensed.
Squeeze it in. There you go.
He's even directing the episode now. Squeeze it in. All right, here we go. Marty and I came to visit you, sans Mr. Lawson, correct?
Right. Correct.
All right. We're staying in a room. I got to be very careful with how I tell this.
Yeah.
A room.
Please do.
2 beds, 1 room.
Two beds. Please note.
Let's do, right?
Right.
So we have the AC unit on, and it's humming like an AC unit would do.
Who is this? Where?
So next thing you know, around 1 a.m., I wake up and I hear what I sound is like this really loud humming. Okay. Like an industrial machine.
Right.
But you know what? Like everybody else says tonight, when you hear something, you ignore it, you go back to bed.
That's
so
right.
I go back to sleep. I woke up a couple more times throughout the night. I hear the low humming of the AC unit, but the loud humming of something else coming from the other side of the room, closest to Martin. 7:30 in the morning, Marty wakes up. I hear him go into the restroom, and he closes the door, thankfully, and the humming actually comes down a step or two. So I'm thinking, there must be a fan in the bathroom that we kept on overnight.
Oh, a fan. Yeah. Fan.
Right. No, that's a different story, Dave.
Okay.
Right. So he opens the door, gets back in bed. It gets louder again.
Does he nudge you to tell you the story?
Nope.
No. Okay. All right. Just double checking.
So then I get up
about
8 o'clock and I go in there, and in the sink is a hairdryer running that had been running for 7 or 8 hours.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, when we went to bed at midnight, it was in a bag hanging where you hang your towel. So somehow it got out of the bag, it got plugged in, it got put in the sink, and it ran for 8 hours.
And Chachi, let me get this straight. The Colonel went in to pee and didn't turn it off.
Correct. Okay.
And obviously, because it was running in the sink, we can also now surmise he did not wash his hands.
That's right.
Correct.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I wasn't going to tell that part of the story, but with COVID, everybody knows you got to watch.
But he dried them forever.
Yeah, exactly.
This water is so dry and windy.
Soap was used. His hands were
I'm thinking, okay, so Chach is really into like white noise to the point of like firing this hairdryer up to the point of like jet engines off of a 747.
Imagine like sitting your hairdryer in a sink and it just reverberating. Yes, that's what it was like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, why'd you look at me when you said imagine your hair dryer in the sink?
Oh,
that's too soon. Are you a baldist?
Too
Are
soon?
you a baldist?
Is that a thing?
It's a little too soon there. Chach.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
How did that happen? I don't know.
You mean how did you end up rooming with Marty?
That was remember, originally it was supposed to be me, Marty, and Greg in a room. I had a bed, then Marty and Greg had a bed.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Greg backed out. Remember?
I was never people of the planet Earth. I was never told about this.
Yeah.
Would it be awesome if Greg had another appliance like a blender or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go off all at once.
Hey,
Hey, Blind Dog, we're going to invite you instead of Greg for now because I have a feeling you'll show up.
I've been.
Oh yeah. Let the blind guy read the damn story. Sure.
You couldn't do worse.
Oh wow!
You would be
I'm not
surprised,
sure
my
which
friend.
one of us that was directed at.
I don't like to single anybody out. Hey, I
Exactly.
do want to single this person out, ladies and gentlemen. Caponina with a $99.99
Whoa.
donation.
Ching.
To the cause.
Incredible.
She says, congrats on 150, my friend. I hope you have many more years to go. We look forward to every show. And yes, Sarah Rose stayed up late just for you. The Amish serial killer, too. I can never look at him the same way. Ben, you know Uncle Dave loves you. I was just joking around with you. Thank you so much for the love. Look at the support and love tonight. This is crazy. Yeah, so Jess Finch has a question. First, going back to blow dryer gate. Does someone sleepwalk?
Negative. Not on my part.
Hold on. Both of these guys have those sleep machines, man. What is that? How does that play into everything?
Well, that's Top Gun pilot gear.
Exactly.
Right,
One of them is Goose. The other one is Ice Man.
Exactly.
Need for Speed, baby.
I'm actually Ghost Rider there, Dave. So
are you Ghost Rider? Sorry, Ghost Rider. Yeah.
Now,
but
I will say,
yes,
when I woke up, there was a bar of soap on the floor.
Was it melted by the heat?
Well, I can tell you, it wasn't used because
it was still in the package.
It's more of a dry rub.
It's still wrapped in cellophane.
He's not a rib. Unbelievable. This is so that's the hair dryer story.
Yeah.
Hey,
so
crazy. Real fast though, Dave, if I'm not mistaken, along the lines of hairs, right? I remember meeting your beautiful wife a long time ago. I mean, you guys have been together 27, 28 years. And I remember her telling me about when you guys first spent the night together in a hostel. And when she got up in the morning, she had forgotten her hairbrush. And do you remember what she asked you? If she could borrow yours.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I pulled out my toothbrush and handed it to her. It's what I used to daintily get my eyebrows as well.
That's love.
Look at this, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the great state of the UK. Not to be forgotten tonight, Ray Lancashire has chimed in. Thanks for the 150th. Here's to the next 150
what is it,
with
like
20 pounds
in the morning there.
20
Don't
pounds.
worry about it.
I love that Ray stays up.
That's like $100 US.
Ray is awesome.
Ray is either a podcaster or a musician that he stays up all night with us. It's got to be one of those.
Can you accept that money with
I hope it's not a
Yeah, I can accept pounds. I can accept even Canadian cash. I think they accept on this. I'm not sure how it goes. Yeah, but it's 4 a.m.
in the morning. Yep.
Anyways,
gosh, that's amazing.
When I went to pick up the soap in the bathroom,
which wasn't you.
Are we still on that story?
But okay, so Dave, you know how Chachi like plays jokes and does
wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, at some point he's gonna tell me, okay, no, it was me. Yeah, I did it. Nope.
A joke is usually something that's funny, Marty. This was just weird.
Well,
I don't know how that happened.
Well, I guess it was the fact that he didn't turn it off. The thing had been running for 7 or 8 hours, and he just left it running.
Anyone notice when I came on the show, it got like really weird quickly? What the hell?
Yeah. Not just a nurse just donated $25 to the cause with our super stickers.
You notice how all the money starts flowing in when I start talking about my bathroom escapades.
Exactly.
Listen, Greg, you remember the time when you and I went to the bathroom?
No. Oh my God.
Trying to get the telethon money.
We're just trying to get some money going here, there, Dave.
Blind Dog's getting some new music ideas going like crazy. Soap on a Dope, I think, is going to be the name of this song.
There, boom, that's it.
Boom. There you go. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So Dave.
Oh God, yes.
Sorry, I asked.
Every time I try to get out, he drags me back in and brings you back.
So do you think you'll ever play a Blind Dog song that he shared with you?
Yeah, when my buddy Greg tells me,
no,
there's no way Blind Dog's going to be on the show tonight.
No possible
But I conquered
way.
The odds.
No possible way in God's green earth Blind Dog's going to be on the show.
And do you know what I said to him, Blind Dog? I said, but he wrote to me and asked me and said he'd be able to do the show tonight. So I sent him a link. He goes, it ain't happening, Dave.
No.
That's exactly how he said it. It ain't happening, Dave.
I did say that.
That's because Greg set up, he's like a practice session because, blind guy cameras, So anyway, so I get it set up, and as soon as I set it at the computer, it does that. It goes away. And yeah.
How do you
power
know?
went out? How do I know that the power went out? It went dark, Dave.
Wow.
Well, Dave, you had to go there, huh?
It went dark.
Oh, really?
And the air conditioner stops working, and people get sweating, and people become relatively busy.
What about the sink hair dryer? Do those stop as well?
All right, so we have
those work by magic.
That's
yes,
right. Dave.
I will tell you what. Yeah. Oh God. Yes, Chachi.
There was one time, right? I was going to say
Bandcamp.
I already have my story for this week.
He does.
Yes, you have.
Oh, good.
And I was wondering. I just noticed Loki and a couple others are making some comments about it. And I sent you the link to my story. If you remember.
Yes, I
from
do.
Astronomy Today.
You sounded like you really.
Can I go ahead and just let everybody
No.
in on?
No, because there is a follow-up. There is a follow-up to that news story that was sent to me today. So you have to tune in Wednesday because it is a double pounding hour of news that you are not going to want to miss because Chachi, I'll share the headline with you a little later. Look at this.
That's what I look for in paranormal broadcasts, pumping and pounding.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. Gate City
Should have
Film.
stayed with Marty and I. Go ahead. What?
Gate City Film, $49.99 from Dre and Bobby.
City
Congratulations. Love listening to you guys. Love you, Dre and Bobby. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Friends of
Maybe
mine.
this
They are
is
amazing people.
The way it works is like in the hour 1:30 to 2 o'clock. Everybody's like,
everybody's
We'll
drunk and
find out.
giving me money.
I think
feel like I should start. Should I just keep undoing buttons to see how much more we get?
I think if we go 3 hours into this thing, we'll have you'll
no brain
Chachi,
cells
you get another
left.
bathroom story?
I can think of one. Dave, remember when you and I went to Vegas?
Ooh, let's
Oh,
hear
look
that
at it.
one.
Look at it.
Let's hear that one.
Oh, Bree jumps on. She says she will not be outdone. Congratulations on 150 episodes, Dave, Chachi, Marty, and the other guy. Bree Hollingshead sends us $19.99. Thank you, Bree.
Wednesday is going to be nothing but Chachi's bathroom story, so tune in.
Lord, we're gonna have to. Well, it's kind of loading up that way. I can assure you. If you like the off the cuff stories, you're gonna love what we got coming for you on Wednesday. It's a double header.
Oh, is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 stories back to back. So I don't even know. I might just let Chachi deliver both of them.
Yes. We're gonna go like 2 hours.
I
on
know
that
of
one.
anyone that can do
Make sure
that.
that the last 2 stories. I'll drink it up for
right.
you.
Oh God. Thomas Wright says congratulations on the 150. We appreciate
Yay.
it. Thank you everybody that showed up tonight to celebrate and hang out with us and share your stories. I can't tell you how much we love you and how much you mean to us. And you do. And Blind Dog, you're welcome to join us anytime.
Anytime.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Give us a week or 2 notice, and if you could put it in writing and text and then call me, we'll try to work you in.
And then I'll try to I'll change the plans at the last minute, like 7
That'd
or
be
8
great.
times.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But I'll
and
be
then
working
ask
on a new
Greg.
bathroom story.
Let Greg know.
Good.
Let Greg know your plans, and I'm sure
He won't show up.
work out. Yeah.
He'll let us know. Yeah.
Marty and I
Crazy.
used to be so supportive to each other. It was incredible.
Yeah.
The honeymoon is over.
Yeah.
All right. Well, normally, when we're all together, we play the Paranormal 60 news theme, written and produced and sung by Blind Dog. But
I know him.
today is Monday, and today we have our regular theme. But we will be back Wednesday, full complement, ready to deliver the news to you, our loving viewers and audience listeners around the world. Please remember to rate and review this program. It means a lot to us to do that. Whatever platform you listen to us, please go rate and review the show. It takes you 2 seconds to say, fantastic, my favorite show. Dave is such a hunk. Give me 5 stars. Just do it. It'll feel better for everybody if you do that. And remember, to go to darknessevents.com to keep up with all the cool places that I'll be visiting. And later on this year, Austin, Texas, Galaxy Con. Greg, Marty, Chachi, Dave, Nikki. That's right. We're all going to be there. So is psychic medium Michelle Welsh. She'll be in one of our panels. We're going to have a great time. We hope that you guys will join us there. Until next Monday, when I return with more amazing interviews. And next Monday, we go deep into NOLA, ghosts, vampires, werewolves, and creatures that go bump in the night. But before we do that, we'll be back with the Paranormal 60 News this Wednesday, right here. Same Dave time, same Dave channel. Move over, bitches. I'm doing a rap song.